Team coverage of a strong nor'easter approaching later tonight and into tomorrow. We are expecting the potential in upwards of 10, 12 inches of snow in some southern and southeastern parts of the state, as well as gusty winds, making for blizzard-like conditions at times overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about all of this with the timeline as far as today is concerned. If you are heading out this morning or you have plans for today, clouds, a few flurries, temperatures in the 30s, light winds to go along with all of it. As far as what we are expecting with the storm making its way in, winter storm warnings are posted for central and southern areas of the state. Winter weather advisories right on the northwestern periphery. And as you can see here, a blizzard warning goes into effect starting at 7 to 10 o'clock tonight, and then most of those effects will likely happen overnight tonight and during the morning hours tomorrow. We're expecting much lower visibility, blowing and drifting of that snow with some gusts over 40 to 45 miles an hour. Now, for the southern half of the state, we are going to see a plowable snow out of this. There's going to be the potential of 6 to 12 inches of snow in some southern spots, and then those amounts really scale back the farther north and west you go, and we're going to keep an eye on some of the tides as well for some minor coastal flooding. More on that with Matt Honig in just a moment. As far as the travel impacts, you can notice as we go through the evening tonight, you should be fine. Nothing more than just some very light snow. It's overnight tonight and during the daylight hours tomorrow that we're seeing the grandest effects from this area of low pressure as it gets going and strengthens during the daylight hours today and makes its closest pass late morning and during the afternoon tomorrow. So for the time being, again, clouds will be building in, clearer skies up north with temperatures in the single and double digits below zero this morning. But even there, you could have a few flurries around later on this afternoon. So if you see any snow showers or flurries around today, that is far disjointed from the actual area of low pressure and the strong nor'easter, which, as you can see, starts to bring in accumulating snow in our direction after, let's say, 9, 10, or 11 o'clock tonight. Now, the effects from here only continue to ramp up. Developing lighter snow farther north, the snow picking up to a half inch to a full inch per hour at times during the overnight hours and during the morning hours tomorrow in southern and southeastern parts of the state. It is about this time that area of low pressure that continues to strengthen is going to bring very gusty winds closer to the coastline, gusts over 35 to 40 miles an hour. That, coupled with the snow, is going to really lower visibility and make for some difficult travel, especially along shore roads and along the coastline areas like 95 and the Spalding Turnpike. Again, you're talking the visibility probably under an eighth of a mile at times. There is your back edge, which starts to slide across the state late in the day and into tomorrow evening, and then clearing skies thereafter. Again, the snowfall totals really just haven't changed all that much as we have gone through the last 12 hours. Looking at the latest computer models coming in this morning kind of holds these numbers where they are, with lesser amounts farther north. Could even be a sharper cutoff farther north. But again, this is the snowfall angle for this. Let's talk about the winds, the lower visibility, and the coastal flooding. Let's head over to meteorologist Matt Honig.
Yeah, Kevin, that's really the main concern at the coastline late morning into midday tomorrow. Of course, the snow will just be blowing around, creating those low visibility and difficult conditions like Kevin was mentioning, but also the chance that the snow and the wind creates some scattered outages, plus some coastal issues, especially around times of high tide. Let's time out when the strongest winds arrive. Really no problems out there today. Winds are fairly light, but overnight they start to pick up. This is the pre-dawn hours of Monday. At this point, getting gusty, especially over Rockingham County and right up to the immediate coast. The height of the winds is likely mid-morning tomorrow through about 2 p.m. and at times winds could gust close to 45 miles per hour at the coast. Even inland areas approaching 35 miles per hour, so quite blustery as far back as the Merrimack Valley and some higher elevations of the Monadnock region. These stronger winds will continue through much of Monday afternoon, then slowly taper off as the storm pulls away later Monday evening. That pushes a lot of large waves right up to the coastline. Coastal flood watch up and down the coast. Around 2 high tide cycles tomorrow, one of them coming in around 3 in the morning, another one at 3:30, and at Hampton Harbor, both of these tides right around minor flood stage. What this means is low-lying areas like the Hampton Flats, the Riverside section of Seabrook start to fill up with water. Those typical low-lying shore roads likely seeing some splash over as well, and that's going to also create some additional very difficult and dangerous travel impacts for coastal locations. Let's talk about what follows this storm because the pattern still remains active through next week. We'll go back over to Kevin for more on what to expect for Tuesday.
The theme here is basically a one-day break between these systems. So one pulls away Monday night. night, and on Tuesday, partial sunshine. And then as quickly as Wednesday morning, we have another band of light snow coming through. This is a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch Alberta Clipper type system coming through, but likely going to lead to some slippery roads during the daylight hours on Wednesday before that pulls away. And we're likely going to have a day break before another possible accumulating snow sometime on Friday. So as far as the temperatures are concerned, again, we remain 30s today, 20s tomorrow with the light snowfall, and staying kind of in the 30s going forward here through most of the rest of the week. Here is your 7-day forecast, which again has the next system coming through sometime on Wednesday, and then the potential of another light snow later Thursday night and into Friday. You can see those temperatures kind of holding in the 20s and 30s with those overnight lows. Not really all that chilly, minus a colder night Tuesday night.